It is a Fallout 1 and 2 reference. Yes, really. And then B, it's also a very trippy quest. Very trippy. 3 viewers, huh? Oh, great. Great, I'll take them. Welcome, welcome. You aren't following me already? Go for it. I appreciate it. Ooh, do you want to see an Easter egg involving Brahmin? Unequip your weapon. Go into sneak and then press A when you're near it. Cow tipping. Now, fun fact, Brahmin tipping really doesn't do anything in the game. In New Vegas, it's actually an achievement.
We got away from the slavers who were taking us to Paradise Fall. Do you think you can get... Well... We got away from the slavers who were... Do you...
Slavery. Sadly, it is a thing in the wasteland because there is no law. Yeah, Old Oni's a bit of a death trap. I think you can understand why. Look, any 8-hour shift that doesn't really pay that well, yeah, it feels that way. Doesn't it? This is one reason why I'm like, well, if this actually does take off and becomes lucrative one day, the whole thing is, it's like, well, remember, if you work for yourself, set aside some money for taxes. Afraid there's no escaping that. You know, if this place wasn't a giant death trap, this place would actually be halfway decent to live in the wasteland, because the thing is, a lot of these buildings are decently intact. Not to mention there's like a whole underground home area, livable home area as well. And that's also where the nest is. So, and Deathclaws get very angry if you go near their nest. There's Vault 92. Now, one of my favorite vaults to go to in this game is Vault 108. I'm not going into it until I get to level 30, but it's everyone just calls it the Gary Vault. Everyone loves the vault because of how funny it is. They decided to clone some vault dweller named Gary over and over again, and each Gary clone was aggressive towards everybody except for the Gary clones, and they could only say one word, Gary. So they'll go, ha ha, Gary. Ah, Gary! And then they make references to it in Fallout 4. Sometimes in some locations you'll find a set of 4 wooden blocks arranged to spell out Gary. And it's like, it's an inside joke with Bethesda now, to include Gary. Listen, I don't care what anyone says. I've always been a fan of revolvers. Which, a Fallout YouTuber said it best. The sole survivor would not bat an eye at seeing all the Gary references, but the lone wanderer would. So, one thing that's kind of weird about Oasis, you know you're getting close when something really weird starts to happen. Ooh, clifftop shacks. There's a unique weapon up here. Good lord. Okay, he's dealing a lot of damage. Alright, fine. You want to do it this way? I'll be happy to oblige.
Thank you. Here. You're...
I'll take that, so I can fix mine up.
No more games.
Here.
Just sleep it off. Goes to sleep, all damage disappears. What? Alright, so the unique weapon is in one of these shacks around here somewhere. I don't remember where exactly. Pre-war book. Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, there it is. So, I love the name for this weapon. It's a unique nail board called the Board of Education. Because everyone knows how good how good they can be, depending on your area. But anyway, I'm not going to get political here. In a sense, yes. Yes. It's a very big pun on how also how teachers and principals used to be able to discipline children, but they can't anymore. No, they didn't use a nail bat. They weren't that sadistic. But they did use paddles. Getting sent to the principal's office was not a good thing back in the day. So this thing is actually a reference to that. Well, I read tick marks. What's down here? Enclave. I'm killing you. I'm smacking you around and killing you all with a nail board. How does that make you feel? My melee skill is also bad. Again, how does that make you feel? Of course, that did a number on the weapon condition. Oh well. It was so fun to beat him senseless with a nail board. My strength is only like 7 as well. It's not very high. So, that was just funny, what happened there. So Oasis gets kind of... The area up to Oasis gets kind of weird. Here's what I mean by weird. You see all the rocks and how dead everything is, and suddenly... a living bush? Yeah, this is insane.
Outsider, you have arrived. Please come closer. I have something of the utmost urgency to speak to you about. Do hurry. He doesn't like to be kept waiting. I'm so glad you're here. It's been a while since anyone's visited us.
Yep, just really
And
old.
He's been
Yep.
waiting for someone like yourself to arrive. If you wouldn't mind following me, I'll bring you right to him.
Just wait a minute. Who are you and what is this place?
I'm sorry. In my excitement, I got ahead of myself. I'm Tree Father Birch, and I have the great fortune of being leader of his people, the Tree Minders. Beyond that gate is our home, Oasis.
Who's waiting for me inside?
Why, he is, of course. If you'll just follow me to the pavilion, all will be explained.
Okay, I'll follow you. Lead on.
Excellent. Please follow me. All will be explained.
It sounds like a trap.
Revel, outsider, for he has chosen you.
Yes, welcome to Oasis, where there's photosynthesis, mostly clean water, trees, wildlife. What?
We are very pleased to see you out.
You have no idea how overjoyed.
I can't explain it, but I can feel this place just teeming with life.
That's his power you feel, outsider. With his outstretched limbs, he shelters us and keeps us safe.
The way you're saying him, I could swear you're referring to your god.
He's no mere god, my friend. He is the one who grows. He is the one who gives. And he is the one who guides. Thanks to him, the Tree Minders have a home.
I may be willing to help, but I need straight answers about who he is.
I would have preferred that he made the introduction, but the Great One is a god tree. A living, breathing, speaking god tree. The Tree Minders are blessed to have this being watch over us.
So what is all this about meeting
Yes,
someone?
My apologies. I don't speak to outsiders very often, and I tend to get lost in conversation. As you approached Oasis, he said you were coming, and I was sent out to meet you personally with a request. He wishes to meet with you. You'd be the first outsider to do so in a very long time.
I'd be honored.
Yes. To meet him, you must undergo the ceremony of purification whenever you're ready.
Hang on, you never said anything about
There's
ceremony.
no reason to be alarmed. All that must be done is you must drink the sap from the basin. The sap will purify your mind and body of anything harmful that could possibly hurt him.
Okay, let's begin.
Very good.
Outsider.
I guess it's time to get roofied.
You must drink from the basin if you wish to meet him. We will now recite the blessing to ward off any harm the outsider may be carrying before he proceeds to the grove.
I bid you depart, agents of destruction, through the power of his divine will.
Leave our homes and bodies immediately. Live no longer in them, but pass over into places where you can harm no one.
In the name of his frondescence, I call his wrath upon you, so that wherever you may go, you bear it with you.
And diminishing from day to day, you may disappear, except where you serve the health, good purposes of mankind. May no trace of you be found.
All this, may he be so good as to grant us, who is to come to judge the living and the dead, and the world by his redo.
Amen. Soon, you will pass peacefully into sleep, outsider. And when you awake, you will witness his glory firsthand.
Glad to see you're finally awake. I can't believe they made you do that stupid ceremony. They listen when I talk, but they don't hear. You know what I mean?
I've never met a talking tree before.
Neither have I. Well, I talked to Herbert, but he never really says anything back. He kept growing around me. Maybe for calling him Herbert all the time. His name's really Bob. I think it's funny when I call him Herbert, though.
So you're trapped in there inside this Bob thing?
Well, I suppose you could look at it that way. See, Bob used to ride around on top of my head, sunk his roots right in there, you know. Well, eventually, he got bigger than me, and then pretty much ended up inside.
How did that happen?
It was a long time ago. I tend to lose track. I was exploring some sort of a military base with some other people. I think it was called Mariposa. We were pretty deep inside, and we found some weird vats of this nasty green goo.
FEV.
Right when we were about to leave, I think we were attacked. Last thing I remember before blacking out was something knocking my friend into the stuff.
Well, hopefully your troubles will be over. I'm here to help.
You have no idea how glad I am to hear that. Or we're glad to hear that. Me and Bob. I had you brought in here to ask a very simple favor. Would you please kill me?
You want me to murder you?
Oh, no. It wouldn't be murder. You'd be doing me a favor. You see, I've been stuck here for over 2 decades now, rooted right into the ground. The only friends I've got are Bob and those weirdos out there who think I'm a god.
How would I be able to kill you? You're a tree.
How to put this? I've been feeling rather spread out lately. I think Bob's kinda shoved my insides around some. It's hard to tell where everything is, but it's always that way with one's insides, isn't it? Anyway, I believe Bob's carried some of my organs into his root system. I want you to go underground and destroy my heart.
If I kill you, every tree minder will come after me.
No, don't worry about them. When you decide to go down there, I'll have a little chat with Birch and the rest of the gang. They usually don't understand a word I say, but I'll make them come around.
Look, I don't really want to do this.
Of all the wastelanders I had to bump into, it has to be one with a conscience. Let's keep it an open invitation then. Just...
Well, goodbye for now, then, Herbert, or was it Bob?
No. Herbert is the tree. Bob is his real name, but I call him Herbert because But I'm still in here too. What's left of me? The name's Harold.
So, this is actually Harold, the same FEV mutated man Harold from Vault, I think it was 16 in Fallout 1. This is the same character. He also showed up in Fallout 2. This is like one of the only few references that Fallout 3 makes to the previous games at all. Now, the most evil way to do this is take an energy weapon and blast him. That is the most evil way to do this. Then the truly good option is to just do what Harold asks.
Rebel outsider, you are under his protection.
But you get no rewards out of it.
And I'm telling you, you've got it all wrong. Why else would he have called for an outsider's assistance?
The outsider is here to deliver us from our enemies, to keep this place safely locked away from the wasteland, not to exploit us.
How can we preach about peace when all you want to do is keep his gift all to ourselves? That's not what he would want.
If we allow the spread of this miracle to continue, we're putting him in jeopardy. I can't allow that. I won't allow it.
Once again, my husband, we are at an impasse. I suggest we speak to the outsider.
Agreed. Why else would the outsider have been allowed into the grove? Perhaps it's a test. Yes, that must be it. I know why you're here, and despite what my wife thinks, I know you'll do what's best for Oasis. After all, he chose you, and he would never want to put us in harm's way.
I'm afraid Harold isn't a god. He's just some human that had some bad luck.
Oh, he's testing you now, just like he tested us. He wants to see if your faith is strong by spinning these incredible stories. Who else but a god could produce all of this? Don't worry, you'll soon see things as I do.
Do you know that he wants me to kill him?
Yes, I've been pondering that riddle myself for some time now, and I think I know what he's trying to tell us. The Great One's influence is growing, and soon it will break free of the confines of this secluded vale. We can't allow Oasis to call attention to itself like that. It would be the end of him.
So what can I do?
If the same sap that you drank to purify yourself could be applied to his heart, it should stop the spread. I can promise you no harm would come to him. That's all I ask of you, outsider. Nothing more, nothing less.
I love Birch, but sometimes I think he doesn't see the big picture. The spreading of his influence is not a curse. Of course it's ups, but now I heard.
Okay, so let me explain something to you. There are different outcomes to this. You can just be a monster and burn Harold, which is evil. If you do the sap, you'll get a unique outfit and a rocket launcher. Whoop-de-doo. If you use the liniment, you get a unique hood and a unique set of power armor. But since we have the T-51B, I don't really care about that. And if you side with Harold, you get a perk that makes you more resistant, on top of the resistances that we have already. So, I think I'll oblige Harold.
Branch tender cypress. Sure.
There we go. That's what I wanted. There's going to be pests down here, then I might as well do some pest control. I'll take the unique rope, though. Ah, no wonder they were having problems down here. That makes sense. Just run up and punch it. But that actually is a playstyle, unarmed. It requires you to mostly use power fists, but hey, or brass knuckles, but hey, it works. Mirelurks, oh yeah. They're also very annoying. They're worse in other games, but they're still annoying here. Man, that gives headshot a whole new meaning. So here's his heart. So you get a perk out of that. Plus permanent plus 5% of damage resistance. That's actually really good. It doesn't sound like much, but if you multiply that with any other multipliers you may have, that staves off quite a lot of damage, actually. I think I remember there being a shorter way out of here. Yes. You could call it quantum randomly. Haha. Light Step is a good perk, so now we no longer trigger traps or mines if we accidentally step on them.
The Great One is dead, slain by your hand. Don't worry, I hold no grudge towards you. You'll have to forgive my people at a time like this, outsider. They aren't used to be, and for once, I don't have the words to help them.
I have to say, I'm surprised you aren't angrier with me.
Before you reached his heart, he imparted his last words to me. He told me about him. How could I have been so blind? Perhaps, if I would have spent more time getting to know him, things would have turned out different.
What will become of Oasis?
Even though the Great One has left us, with Bloomseer Poplar's help, I'm confident we can keep Oasis alive. Go now, outsider. Go.
Then he just remains here like this. But at least his suffering is over.
What do you want? I'll do what I do.
What is it now? I'll mourn him with every... If anything, this...
It doesn't look like that this place necessarily needs Harold to thrive. Because what's interesting is, all of the wildlife that you see here is resistant to radiation completely.
Hiya. that Harold's gone, I lost my bestest friend. All I want to do is cry. May you remain.
The Great One is dead.
What is it you need? I'll remain here.